Yo, this is Afro, a.k.a. All Flows Reach Out, and you're listening to Built for This Network. Yes, sir. From the building, stay bomb.
Yo, this is Big Illinois 73. I want you to tune in to the Backyard Podcast Music Sessions, Friday nights, 10 p.m. Central Time, on the Built for This Network, on the Spreaker.com. Check us out. Hit the like button, subscribe. Peace.
West, y'all. Bang, bang.
Throw them W's up. West Side Wednesdays with your boy, D. Greatest from South Central. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. X-Cloud Online Radio Network. iHeartRadio. Spotify. TuneIn. Apple Podcasts. Google Podcasts. We got more.
Wings to Fly is a children's book about gaining confidence and working to succeed, told from the perspective of a young girl who loves to play basketball. She is often left out by her teammates until she meets her guardian angel who teaches her that success takes perseverance. Wings to Fly is a great read for all children. I would highly recommend this book. If you would like to make a purchase, please click on the link in my description box below.
We represent the new Negro. His back is not yet against the wall. We do not want his back against the wall because that would be a peculiar and desperate position. We do not want him there. It is because of this that we are asking for fair compromise. When the Belgians have control of the Belgian Congo, which they cannot use, they have not the resources to develop nor the intelligence. The French have more territory than they can develop. There are certain parts of Africa in which they cannot live at all. So it is for you to come together and give us a United States of Africa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are not going to be a race without a country. God never intended it, and we are not going to abuse God's confidence in us as men. We are men, human beings, capable of the same acts as any other race, possessing under fair circumstances the same intelligence as any other race. Now Africa's been sleeping, not dead, only sleeping. Today, Africa is walking around not only on our feet, but on our brains. You can enslave, as was done for 300 years, the bodies of men. You can shackle the hands of men. You can shackle the feet of men. You can imprison the bodies of men, but you cannot shackle or imprison the minds of men.
The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Born on August 17, 1887, from a little town called St. Anne's Bay in Jamaica. He would one day become one of the greatest leaders that we've ever had. Marcus Garvey's father, Marcus Garvey Sr., was a very strict man. Very strict, no-nonsense, stern type of father. He was huge on discipline and respect. And Marcus Garvey Sr. was a hero to little Marcus. Marcus Garvey Sr. worked at a cemetery, and one day he took Marcus down to the graveyard. They went down to the cemetery and they started digging holes. They dug a hole deep enough for both of them to get inside. As they went inside, Marcus Garvey Sr. exited the hole and he pulled up the ladder, leaving Marcus down there by himself. He did it to teach him a lesson. And these were the type of tests that he would put his kids through. Inside of the Garvey's household, everyone had to address him as Mr. Garvey. Marcus Garvey Sr. instilled a lot of grittiness, toughness, and leadership into Marcus Garvey. Many of Garvey's father's characteristics helped him become the man that he was, the same man that led hundreds of thousands of black folks. As a kid, Marcus used to read a lot, and he used to challenge his friends to pick a word out of the dictionary so he can give them the definition. He was thorough like that. And in 1914, Garvey read Booker T. Washington's biography, Up from Slavery, and it changed his life forever. Garvey felt like it was his mission to unify black people. Garvey kicked off the UNIA, and he decided to take his talents to Harlem. See, he couldn't get much popping in Jamaica, but Harlem was thriving. A. Philip Randolph, who was another black leader, got word on what Garvey was trying to get accomplished with the UNIA, and he set up his first lecture in the United States. But Garvey wasn't quite ready yet, and his nerves got the best of him. Garvey got up there in front of the crowd, and he was shook. Garvey trembled with fear. He had a shaky voice, and even at one point, he fell off the stage. Garvey studied the style of a local preacher. He rebuilt his confidence, leveled up, got back on his square, and he bounced back. Because that's what fighters do. We come back. Garvey soon went on a 38-state tour, spreading his message all over the place. In September of 1917, Garvey opened up the first American chapter of the UNIA. He had the publicity he wanted now, he got the courage, and he went at all the black leaders who he felt were weak and the ones who he didn't agree with, like W.E.B. Du Bois and his former friend, A. Philip Randolph. And he started building UNIA chapters all over New York, and then it spread through the country. Garvey also designed the red, black, and green flag. Garvey said, "Show me a race without a flag, and I will show you people without any pride." The red is for the blood that unites us all. Black is for the people. And the green represents the land. The UNIA gave jobs to thousands of people in Harlem. But Garvey was very stubborn, very much an authoritative man, and he made poor decisions because he wouldn't take advice from other people. Garvey made a lot of bad business decisions, and the UNIA started struggling financially. A man named George Tyler, who put a lot of money into Garvey's hand, he was a former investor. One day, he came to see Garvey at one of the UNIA offices. George Tyler stepped in and started shooting. So as he's in there bussing, Amy Ashwood, who was only Garvey's girlfriend at the time before he married her, jumped in front of the shooter to protect Garvey and tackled him down a flight of stairs. Garvey was hit 3 times. The next day, Garvey still went to his lecture and spoke in Philadelphia, all bandaged up and everything. The UNIA was growing at an alarming rate, and the Back to Africa movement was huge. Garvey was big time. There were over 500 chapters of the UNIA. And now here comes J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover sent all types of agents to infiltrate the UNIA.
Hoover's agents were in the audience at Carnegie Hall when Garvey bragged that the UNIA would soon be strong enough to exact its own form of justice.
When those crackers lynch a Negro below the Mason-Dixon line, since it is not safe to lynch a white man in any part of America, we shall press the button and lynch him in Africa.
The agent reported that Garvey's address was met with great applause and much excitement.
Garvey felt like black folks needed their own ships. There was the White Star Line, the Irish had the Green Star Line, so Garvey created the Black Star Line. Not only just to help with transportation, but to also sell goods. The SS Yarmouth was the first ship purchased, and Garvey renamed the ship the Frederick Douglass. But see, now Garvey had to actually hire people to run the Black Star Line. A. Philip Randolph and W.E.B. Du Bois felt like Garvey was doing a lot of this just for clout. They felt like Garvey was bringing on way too much attention to black folks and way too much attention onto himself. A. Philip Randolph said that Marcus Garvey has succeeded in making Negroes the laughingstock of the world. In 1923, Garvey was arrested for mail fraud for selling stock of the Black Star Line. Garvey was out on bail, and he had a sit-down meeting with Edward Clark, who was the Grand Wizard of the KKK. This right here outraged all the black leaders. But see, they didn't understand. Garvey was about business. And Garvey felt like the Klan was the invisible government of the United States. Many black leaders were hoping for Garvey's deportation. Malcolm has sat down with the Klan. MLK has sat down with the Klan. As I've said before, you don't have to like somebody in order to do business with them. These major corporations, these businesses, you think they like us? Walmart don't like us. Gucci don't like us. Prada don't like us. It's about business. So Garvey had a lot of plans, but black leaders were outraged. W.E.B. Du Bois called Garvey an enemy, and Garvey fired back. Garvey called him a rabbit mulatto who needed a horse with him. A. Philip Randolph later received a package in the mail. Startled by the package, he called the police. Inside the package, it was a mutilated hand. A. Philip Randolph was spreading the word that it was a Garveyite that sent them that. So everything was starting to get nasty, real nasty. And whether we like it or not, our ancestors did make mistakes. This is why we have to learn from their mistakes. Garvey finally ended up being convicted of mail fraud and sentenced to the max of 5 years, but only to be deported back to Jamaica. Hundreds of people came out to see Garvey leave. They all wished him well. Garvey spoke to the crowd, and everybody got emotional. Now, once Garvey arrived in Jamaica, it was the exact opposite. People cheered him on like a rock star was coming into town. As Garvey's health declined, a misinformed journalist added an article in the newspaper saying that Garvey had passed away. The word spread fast. Once Garvey finally got his hands on the article, as Garvey read it, he actually had a stroke and passed away the next day. R.I.P. to one of our legends, one of our greats, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
And future generations shall have in their hands the guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too believe in time, but we shall wait patiently for 200 years if need be to face our enemies through our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death even to serve you as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the foes. If death has power, then count on me to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a plague or a pestilence or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. Will I not go to hell a million times for you? If I die in Atlanta, my work will only just then begin. For I shall live in the physical or the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black, and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessing to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is storm. Look for me all around you, for with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa, to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life.
All right. Thank you. It's your man HRap coming at you live and direct. This is Built for This Network. Again, this is HRap from Built for This Network. I have a forum today. I'm stepping out of character. It's Black History Month, formerly converted from Negro History Week. Me and some of my friends will talk about Black history today. We're going to talk about it in a week. And we're going to have a different set. We're going to have several topics. I'm going to have several guests. And I'm going to start the show the way I do it every week. This is Built for This Network. I am HRap. This is Build and Destroy, the End of the Bench. What I'm going to do is, as usual, you know how to get in contact with me on several platforms. This is a podcast. And the reason I always say it's a podcast is several of my people always say, I missed your show. It is impossible to miss my show. You can go to Spreaker.com, Built for This Network, and check out anything on my network. You got YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, and Podcast Addict. I always salute my ancestors as well as my family before I start these shows, because when you send out respect and blessings to your ancestors, they return them to you. That is everybody connected me to the Whitmore, Pollard, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Bailey, Harper, Chris Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and me, my mother, my father, my sisters and brothers. We are the Williams clan. We are always in the building. I want to thank everybody on the Spreaker side, the Spreaker.com side. If you're in the chat room, much love. Because there's so many people, I'm not going to go through the thing, but please, thank you. It's not a slight to you. It's just I want to get on with the show. And you know, as usual, you can go to youtube.com and tune right into the show if you want to be seen verbally. If you want to see the visuals, come to youtube.com. Check us out. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I got my man Jack. Thank you, Jack. He's a good brother. You know, he's a guy who I respect his opinion. We sit around, we chew the fat on a regular basis. I want to introduce him to you. Thank you, Jack, for being on. Also, I got my man Rello Ishbaya, my main man. Dude, me and this dude go back for years and years. And I got my man Tony. We all are opinionated black men. We want to share our opinions, share our point of views, and basically show love to anybody and everybody who is part of the diaspora, as well as the specific black community here in the upper 48. In a little while, my main man Tran Brown will be joining in. He'll be in a second. Once he get in, we'll plug him in. And what we're going to do is talk about things that are important to us. Guys, there go my man Tran right there. Welcome aboard. That's my man Tran Brown, one of my oldest and most dearest friends. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir. What's cracking, fellas? Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Man, it's all good. It's all good. We just we're 5 brothers who love our people. And we're going to talk about this thing called Black History. Again, if you want to be a part of this, tap into the youtube.com, go to THAENDOFDABENCH, and you'll be able to tap in, come into the chat room. Your comments will be seen on the screen, and as they're seen on the screen, we'll take heed to them, add them to the show. We don't want to eliminate anybody. Now, I'm gonna start off first and foremost. We're gonna go counterclockwise. That's Jack, that's Rello, that's Tran, that's Tony, then back to me. First and foremost, this is Black History Month, started by our great ancestor Carter G. Woodson. This is a dude whose parents were born into slavery. He's the second brother to get a PhD at the University of Harvard. Harvard set the standard at that time. So, and here it'll show you how infamous our white counterparts are. They started this PhD program for our brother Woodson, our brother W.B. Du Bois, and our brother Hinton to see if it was a science experiment and see how it works. You give me this much, I'm gonna take this much. You see what I'm saying? With that being said, Jack, I'm gonna start with you as I stated. What does Black History Month mean to you? And again, we're checking out your comments as they come up. Feel free to comment on the YouTube side, and we're gonna keep it pushing. Jack, the floor is yours, brother.
Okay. What Black History means to me, it's our people, it's our history. But just here in the last probably couple of years, just from our conversation, Black history has been something different to me than it had before. Black history means to me our identity that was stolen from us, and that is continued to be hidden and stolen in many shapes, forms, and fashions, because a lot of us don't know that we're kings and queens. We say it metaphorically, but we really are kings and queens, and we really operate in that way. Even now, and we don't know it, but they hide their history from us because they don't want us to know who we really are. Because at one point in this time, they were in control of everything going on this planet. And that's what history means to me. It's our identity of who we really are that has been stolen from us that we need to know more about.
Rello?
Well, I mean, I agree with what Jack just said, but for me, Black history, first of all, Black is not an identity, but I understand, the colloquial way to how we use it is how we use it. But Black history is American history. You can't have any American history, none, or American culture, in my opinion, without Black people. We created the first culture here in this country, and it started with gospel. Basically the whole Negro spiritual, so, and from that, culture in this country as we know it grows out of that. It grows out of our cooking. My grandmother is a Geechee, you know what I mean? So that, like the way people cook, a lot of things came out of that for one. In my opinion, Black history is American history. Because what's really America? They get to call themselves from wherever they come from, what they come from. You know what I mean? They get to say, well, I'm Italian American, I'm German American, I'm Polish American, I'm Irish American, all this, that, and the third, but we don't really get that opportunity. So if anything, when it comes, when you're talking about American history and Black history, is the same thing. And that's how I see it. It's like he said, like it's so many things in this country that we created and started. And if it wasn't for us, this country wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for us, due to the slave pain that we had to put in, for one. And I'm also not of the belief that every Black person was born of a slave. I believe that was here. So two. But to me, that's what Black history means in a nutshell, man. Black history is American history. You can't have one without the other at all.
My man. Tran Brown, what's good, brother?
What's happening, man?
It's on you.
So for me, man, Black history is more of a reminder of, what's in my DNA and how great I could be. You know what I'm saying? And we highlight the greatness, but you know, it's also the failures too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just the greatness, but it's everything. It's everything that's done on the daily. We create Black history every single day. It's really, in the end, it's just life, right? You know what I mean? It's life, you know, because my mama made history. You know, she had, you know, 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? And she raised them. You know, that's history, right? That's something that's going to go down in the books. I can tell my kids, and then them stories going to go on for generations. You know what I mean? So it's like I say, it's more of a reminder of the excellence that's in my DNA. And it let me know what I can do. It let me know that there ain't no limits. You know, anything that I think I can do, for the most part, has already been done by a Black person somewhere. You know what I mean? In our history, I can search it up. You know what I mean? I can find something, you know, on every level that, you know, a Black person did on the excellence side. You know what I mean? So, to me, that's what it is. It's a reminder of how great I am and how great I can be. You know what I mean? And the history is just showing you, you know, when the last Black person stood on that pedestal of greatness. You know what I mean? In every era, whatever it is, you know, that's what it is to me. It's just really a reminder of who I am, right? You know what I mean? It's a pride thing. And who I can be, and you know, it's limitless. You know what I mean? So it let me know that the possibilities are endless. You know what I mean? That's how I teach my kids that nothing, you know, no matter, you know, where we came from,
yes,
that can't stop us, man. We can't be stopped, right? You know what I mean? And that's probably for everybody that's on this camera with me and everybody listening. You know, you understand what I'm saying, the shit you gotta go through just to, you know, to get to age 20, then to 21, then to 25, then to 30, then to 40. I just made 50. You know what I'm saying? I just made 50. That is a wonderful accomplishment. You know what I mean? From where I'm from, and to have, you know, everything intact, and to have an understanding of, you know, what this world is and where I stand in it. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I say, it's more a reminder of who we are. You know, man, you know that we get that from it. You know what I mean? We get that source of pride, and we get everything from that. You know what I mean? That's life. Black history is life, man.
Tom.
I'm gonna take it a step further than Rello. I say Black history is world history, and we gotta go back to when it was in Africa and Alexander burned the libraries. You know, we created everything. So this is saying it's America, man. It's way past that. And for them to segregate a section of time for us, despite that, that's just perpetuation of racism to me. That's just my opinion. 100%. They need to, and I'm talking about the establishment, I'm talking about whoever's writing the history needs to make sure, you know, let's tell an accurate tale. But if they told the whole true story, then, you know, it'll make them seem real small and us bigger than what they ever want us to be portrayed as. So, truth of the matter is, Black history is world history. You know, we was the first civilization. We were the first men on the planet. So, you know, it's hard. And again, we've all come from really tough backgrounds, and for us to make it, yes, that's true. But man, they watered us down so much, you know, to keep us thinking, oh man, just because one of us did this, is that we've done so many things. Matter of fact, almost every invention that was made by us, and then they made it stolen. You know, and put a twist on it and say, oh yeah, this is the first of this, that, and the other. They all, you know, copyrighted, took it from somewhere, and just made it look, put some salt on it and called it something different. You know, but the matter is, we the history. And like you said, bro, we make history every day. Every day. We come from the impoverished neighborhoods, and we 50 years old. We 50 years old and have your mind intact, yeah, we all make history daily. So, man, I appreciate you having me on here, B.
I know I needed you, man. Thank you for the kind words. And I'm just gonna take everything y'all said and put it into one ball. It's world history. You cannot touch one place on the face of the earth that we have not traveled to. Pyramids in South America, pyramids in Central America. There are remnants of pyramids. They're here in what we call the Upper 48. You got people who travel from Asia over the Bering Straits and walk down here, and they call them Indians or Native Americans. You got people you got people who, when you look at my man Tariq Nasheed, he tells you in the documentary Hidden Colors that the martial arts come from us. There was a brother that sat back and watched animals and created the tiger style and the dragon style and all the ways that we love other cultures. Those are inculcated from the African, which is all of us at the end of the day. When you go to Ireland, you see pubs, you see black people on their signs. We don't even know it because we've been tricked into believing this is the best thing. This is what's up. But when you go over there, you see them worshiping us. The Madonna that the Italians and the Catholics worship. That's us. The Madonna, black as the ace of spades, make Bunk look light skin, Tran. But we don't know that. These are the people that they worship. So it is world history. It's our history. And what we really need to start introducing to the rest of the world is this. Black history is world history. And the people who y'all call the white man, which is not even that's a construct, because they don't even call themselves white. Italians don't call themselves white. Irishmen don't call themselves white. That's something that they created here. They ain't get to be white until they got here. And just like we wasn't black before we got here. But those are our little brothers and sisters, our genetic recessive little brothers and sisters and people. If you're upset, sucks to be you. I ain't got nothing. I ate it. Deal with it. Because, like I have to deal with being called nigga every day. You have to deal with what I'm saying. So world history is our history. And I'm sick of people trying to maneuver things so they could be in the conversation. The conversation starts with me, and I'm gonna end it with this. To quote the great Dr. Henry Clark, if you start your history as slavery, that means everything after slavery is an improvement. This is a footnote in the chapter of the world, and we are not going to accept it anymore. And that's why I want to do this, man, because I needed 4 brothers who, I'm going to be honest, man, my parents were part of the Black Panther movement. Watch this, y'all. The man, the Tran right there, that's the first dude I ever heard say, I'm an activist. So I grew up in a house with a Black Panther, and that's the first dude that said, I'm an activist. So that's why I had y'all on here, man. Me and this dude been hanging since before we had teen in our age. So it's just that what time it is. With that being said, with all these things that we just talked about, do y'all think that our people respect our history enough? I'm gonna take it backward. Tony, Tran, Rello, Jack, me.
It's hard to respect something that you don't know nothing about. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't grow up in a house where this type of stuff was taught, or you weren't in an environment where you were encouraged to be this, man, then it's hard. It seems like it's foreign talk. You say, oh man, we're kings, we're queens, My father was an East Side disciple, so I'm like, I don't know nothing about being no king or nothing like that. So it's important to know that we have to be able to understand where we come from and what to respect. Because otherwise, if we don't know nothing about it, we can't respect it. Exactly.
Tran?
I think, they, like, where we get our history from, right? Sitting in the classroom somewhere. Like, I learned more about myself, honestly, through rap music than I learned through however many years of grammar school and high school. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I started finding out about me, right? Because, like, the world, like, the universe was speaking to us so we could understand. Like, we was, in 12th grade, 10th grade, we rocking African medallion, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we proud to be black. We on that, like, that whole kick was, self-destruction. We all about, taking nation. Like, really, all that is when I was being taught about, like, that was the first real time. You know what I mean? It wasn't in the classroom. It wasn't curriculum. It wasn't something that somebody already set up. And, you was talking earlier, the fucking, the conquerors write the goddamn history, not the motherfuckers that's conquered, right? So we see it from their glorious point of view. You know what I'm saying? And we, they was able to give it to me to make me feel proud about being black and to This you done already. This from how they indoctrinated us into this system, man. They made us think who they want us to think we are. You know what I mean? Until I was able to be shown a different way to think and then learn how to think critically, which they don't teach in school, right? You know, but once you're able to think critically and question shit, which I've always done that, but I'm just saying, for the most part, they don't teach us that because they don't want us to start digging and asking questions to them teachers because they feel like instead of we just asking the question, they feel like we trying to clown them and play with them, make a joke out the situation. But this ain't a joking question. I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Answer my question. You ain't even answer. Now you want to kick me out the class because everybody laughing at the question I asked. But it's a serious question. You know what I mean? It might be the way I asked it, but I wasn't joking. Right? I'm just saying the way they give it to us, the people don't respect what we've learned about ourselves or what we've been taught. Why would you respect the shit that we've been taught? I won't accept that we just slaves and that's it. No. Even you could tell me that 1,000 times in a row. I'm like, hell no. You can't make me believe that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think the people that don't respect it are the ones that never look for anything after they was given the fake, the false history, you know, that this establishment brought to you. They don't respect it because that's the only history they know about us. You know what I mean? And then with them not respecting that, they don't respect themselves or their own community. I mean, that shit goes so deep. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they don't value life and all that. I mean, the shit just keep on going. But no, the people that don't know or never, seek to understand the history of black folks don't really respect it. But everybody else respect it because everybody else know where we cut from, the part that we cut from. If you don't know that, you can't respect it. You know what I mean? So they going on a false narrative, and this is where we at right now. Right. Yep.
Next up, Jack. Oh, no, Rello. I'm sorry. I apologize. Rello.
So, to piggyback off what he was saying about not knowing where we come from, this, that, the third. I work at Nordstrom, for y'all that don't know. I work in the suit department at Nordstrom. So I deal with a lot of high-end, quote-unquote, white guys every day. Old white guys. Conservative old white guys. One day, it was a guy that was in there. He would dress like the Monopoly man. No bullshit. I'm not lying. He had the top hat. He had the tux on. He had the tails, the cane, everything. And his wife, she had pearls, all that, furs, and a fur on. And he was talking to me. This is around the time when Hillary was running for election. He was talking to me about Hillary, like who I'm voting for, like what should I do? You know, and I was like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. You know, he was like, well, we gotta get Hillary in there. Blah blah. We don't need Trump. I'm like, I hear you. You know, just playing it off. But the way I was answering him, I guess what he did was once we finished talking that conversation out, he walked off, and then he bent back on me. He said, hey, you do know that black people were here before slavery, right? I said, yeah, I know that. I'm just checking. You know what I mean? That's what it got. I'm just checking. And, you know, I've been with my mother about that because my mother gave me the knowledge that I had. She's like, oh, yeah, you're going to get that type of stuff all the time because you're gonna fall into situations where these people are trying to see where you at ed-wise. And once they understand where you at ed-wise, they're going to test you. And then when they test you, people know. People that have certain power and money, that gives you access to information. You're privy to certain shit. And when you're privy to those things, now, because you know, think about it. If you know something that you think everybody else don't know, or a lot of people don't know, sometimes you're gonna put it out there to other people to see if they know it. You know what I mean? It's like a little game that you're gonna play because after a while it gets boring if you're the only person that knows this information. You want to see who else knows it. We have always been here, man. Like my man said earlier, like it goes back, like Jack said earlier, like it goes back to beyond black culture in America. We started culture in the world, and I understand and know that. But everybody don't know that. Everybody doesn't have that wherewithal. And when you can control somebody's image, you control how the world perceives them. You control their own information. If all you're seeing every day as a black person's niggas rapping about killing each other, drugs, gang banging, violence, pimping, and the women ain't nothing, I ain't nothing, I can't do nothing but play basketball or rap, this, that, and third. Everybody else is gonna believe that. And that's what they push on our kids all day, every day. Constantly. So when you're in a situation where you know better than that, you kind of become dangerous to a degree. Not necessarily dangerous, but you become dangerous in mass. You see what I'm saying? If the masses understand that and know that it can understand that, then you have a problem, because now you're not controlling the narrative anymore about these people. And when you're not controlling the narrative, then you can't control those people. If you can control how they look to the world, then you can control how they even think, how they understand stuff, man. And that's the dangerous part about it. And for him to hit me with that, it kind of caught me off guard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh, he's the only first and ever white person to ask me or say some stuff like that. Just out the blue.
And I personally believe he asked you that because you were smart enough to not give him an answer. You played the game that they played. You know.
I gave him an answer.
No, I'm saying you didn't give him that, oh, I'm going for Hillary because she, you didn't give him that traditional Democratic answer. So he said, let me see, this dude's smarter than average bear. Let's see how smart he is, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was trying to press me on the vote for Hillary. This guy had a top hat and a cane. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, no lie.
The Monopoly man, that's hilarious.
And everything. He was asking, you should have asked him for a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Probably right in his pocket.
Yeah.
He really got to get out of jail.
Yeah. He got the real one. He operating on a whole nother level.
You good? Like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, cool. You should have said that in the first place.
Hey, before you answer, Jack, let me remind everybody, please hit the like button, please hit the share button on the Spreaker.com platform, as well as the YouTube platform. It helps me grow. And if you want to continue to see the platform grow, I will post my Cash App on here, and it is $ the end of the bench, THAENDOFDABENCH. All donations are accepted and appreciated. My man Jack has the floor.
Okay. Now, we don't respect our black history, and I agree with all the brothers before me, and they each had like great points, like Tone said. A lot of us don't even know, like the man said, they don't want us to know, and just like Tran, I want to make sure I want to mess nobody's name up. Tran, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Like Tran, that's it. But Tran, you said something that was profound that I'm starting to learn more and more each day. They don't respect it because they don't know. And this is the thing that really gets me. It's one thing not to know, but it's a whole nother thing when you're not even trying to know. And that's really has a lot to do with it as well. Like I might say some people, well, if some people not told it, they don't know to go look for it, which is true in some cases. But at some point, when does a person say, I want to know more about myself? You know what I mean? And everybody doesn't have that clicking in their mind at all times. But on some level, we need to. We can't afford not to. We can't afford not to. So for that reason alone, we don't respect it. And then this is the thing that really really blows my mind that I'm learning more and more every day. We are the only people that don't know about us. Everybody knows about us.
Yeah.
Everybody knows us. Everybody knows who we really are but us. Everybody knows. You go outside this country, I'm telling you, you're treated completely different than you are here. You can go, people, like I give you a prime example. I hung a Morse flag in my garage. Big old Morse flag. I had the overhead door. The police drive past. I'm in the south suburbs. Police drive past. You can see it from the street. So he stops the car and he just stared at the flag. So I'm standing here like, what's the problem? And he looks at me and he's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, hey, have a nice day. And then he drives away slowly. I said, oh, he knows. And he knows that I know. And then just like Tran said about us being dangerous from the know, we are dangerous, Tran, in every sense of word, on every level, because we are the strongest individuals to ever walk this planet.
Yes.
Ever. It always will be on every level.
Yes.
And everything that has happened to us, I can't put no other group of people in our shoes to say they still can come out from the same year we came out in with all the stuff they had put against us and all the stuff they had funded us. They can't come through. They can't come through because you know what? Ours haven't stopped yet. Our shit still going up to this day. And we still overcome it. So yeah, we are dangerous. And one of the worst things in the world, in a good sense, is when you realize how powerful you really are. And when you really understand that you really are a king and descendants of kings, you start acting like one, and you start talking like one, you start walking like one. So can't nobody come to you with no sideways stuff, talking crazy. I don't care what color they are, whatever. And what's even color at the end of the day? And I'm not going to go into that because we got a whole show that. But when they can't come to you, just like my man came trying to ask you that question, and you was like, you weren't easily mentally tripped up. That's what triggered him saying, do you know who you are? He already knew you knew. He just wanted to make sure you knew. He just wanted to see where you was at. Because he had a hunch like, this Negro is smarter than the rest of these Negroes. Yeah, he already knew. So, you know, yes, we are dangerous. Once the light bulb has been turned on. No, we don't respect our history. But that's why, you know, us do. We got to make it our business to speak loud all the time to our kids and whoever willing to listen. Because at the end of the day, and I will always go back to this, and I'm not saying this like I've always known. I'm not going to sit here in front like that. Just in my later years, I have found out more and wanted more than does. And the more I'm finding out, I'm like, dude, if you put this type of fire and confidence in a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, man, there's nothing that can hold them back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find this out till I got well over with some 50s. I'm in my 50s now. But what if I'd have had this when I was in 8th grade? What if I'd have had this in high school? What if they needed? Yeah, I'd still be a kid. Right. But things would have been a lot different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was raised like at 5 years old with that shit, man. It's like, it's phenomenal.
So you understand exactly what I'm talking about.
It's phenomenal. I see the world in a whole different aspect, man. Like, it's even beyond that. I can't even explain it. You know, because everybody can't understand it or agree with it. You know, but it's just not to sound crazy, but I've transcended a lot of the talk that I even learned from that stage in life. As far as everything being about black, white, it's not even about that. It's just about who you are. Yes. Who you are. There's no such black and white is a construct that was created out of slavery. It don't even exist. And when you start to think of that and put yourself in that mind frame and mold and think it, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. It is what it is. You are an original man You know where you come from, you know who you are, and you know who you are on this planet. If you move accordingly and think like that, you be good. I mean, you still always gotta learn and elevate, but I don't have a lot of constraints that a lot of people may have with that type of information at a new age, or just getting into it, or just coming through it, and I understand what they're going through because I went through it early. I went through it as a child. My mother went through it. But then it takes time to get up out of that type of understanding in those boxes to understand, like, it's even deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's 10 times deeper than that. I'm black. No, man, that ain't. What you mean you black?
Right.
You're not black.
Who gave you the type? Where did that come from?
Right. You mean you black? You walk into that thinking. I mean, I understand what it means when people say that, so I don't trip. You know what I mean? Like, and I say it too. Like, yeah, I'm black, but I still have an understanding that's way beyond the whole black and white thing. They do it to us every day on TV. And it's like heartbreaking for people to, man, we gotta get Trump out of there. We gotta do Biden. This, that, the third. And Biden gets on TV and says, I gotta do a lot more for the black community. Like, they tell you all day long, every day, that you are nothing. You're nothing. You're just a black person. Yeah. That don't even mean nothing.
That's that propaganda, though. That's that propaganda. They kill us with that. And they've been doing that. But I'm talking about, but that's everywhere. That's every fucking media outlet since the beginning of the time. I'm talking about, it started with just look at the news every day. Every single day. 5 days out the week. 6, 7 days out the week. First thing you're going to see. The wildest nigga ever locked up. Handcuffs on his waist, his hands, his ankle. Wild ass hair, black eye, pants falling down. Okay, this the wild ass nigga. Every day. And then you see the white guy, guess what? They telling the lawyers, or they telling the police when they coming in. They coming with their lawyer, not in handcuffs in a slick ass suit. It's a whole different image. You see these two images, but they both criminals though. Right? But the nigga, look at the nigga. And then look at the guy. He coming in slick, hair looks slick, he having an interview, he's smiling. You know what I'm saying? He looks harmless, right? But this motherfucker just stole $1 million on some Ponzi scheme shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's still a criminal. He's still a criminal though, right? Right? But it's just the way they fucking, and after fucking years and years of seeing that shit every day. Now I'm scared of niggas that look like that every day. These are niggas that I see around oh my God. These niggas will kill these niggas crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They done made us think the way they look at us. That's how we look at us, for the most part. Not everybody, but I'm saying that's how it is. And when you look at yourself like that, you hopeless. You already look like, oh my God, I can't do shit but kill a motherfucker and hit a lick. That's all about design.
That's it.
That's all about design.
Yeah, of course it is. It's structured. But when you can think critically and when you know about yourself, you don't have those restraints, man. You could be anything. Your head is in a fucking in the sky somewhere. You ain't even on the same plane as these people. You know what I mean? And that's what that's the inspiration that I get from Black history, knowing that everything that done been done, my people done did it, and it's in my DNA to be able to do that. So what they show me on TV, that ain't me. That's an imposter. That is not me. But nobody I know. You know what I mean? That's not me. That's who y'all trying to show us as. But the motherfuckers I know 30 motherfuckers. There's only 10 of them, or 5 of them like that.
Yeah.
The rest all want the best for everything. They want their neighborhood clean from that shit. Get out of here. Don't nobody love living in the hood, but hood niggas.
But you know what though? With that, now that I'm starting to know better, and you guys can agree with me on this and to tell you what you say, and then I know we got another topic.
Keep going.
These fools now, I look at them as thieves. I don't even look at them as people because they some robbers. They stole everything that they got. And then when I look at them as cowards. Because they got to use all these tactics because they know we were more powerful than them. By any means necessary, they know that we control this world at one point, and they scared to death that we gonna realize it and control it again. They some cowards and they thieves and they imposters. That's all I see. I don't see nothing else. So every time they put an image up, that's an imposter trying to put an image up to mind fuck me and make me believe something that ain't even real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how I look at it.
You know what though? I wouldn't even call them cowards. You know why? Because nobody is ever gonna give power. Nobody's gonna give power. Okay. Power is always taken. So they just doing what they supposed to do to keep their power, right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? It's not. I don't feel like they're cowards.
Exactly.
They just are in a position to manipulate and use, and they know how to control thought.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're good at.
That's what they specialize in.
They see and mind fucking people. They are.
They come when we try to stand up and take the power back. You know, if we go back to Chairman Fred, he was 21 years old when they executed him. Can you imagine? When I was 21, man, I was full of BS. Come on, man. He became America's most wanted. They executed the man. So, point in the matter, what I'm trying to say is, they won't, but I ain't gonna say they won't. We have to collectively take the power back. Because they're gonna continue to show the imagery and the things on media, on their control, that will keep them in power. You know, because go ahead, cowards. We the cowards in general. You know, you see what I'm saying? Because they're not gonna give it to you. They're not gonna let nothing. They're not gonna say, "Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. We had y'all fucked up for hundreds of years, and now we feel bad. So here's some fair shake." They not gonna do that. I mean, who amongst us is willing to die? Like, man, listen, because you know they gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Who amongst us is willing to stand up and die? You know, like, man, I'm ready to die.
And that's the thing, and when you find one of us who won't and start moving in that direction and bring people together, they execute them immediately. They don't even play games. Immediately. That's a history. That's a known repetitive thing that has happened through history. And like you said, you find it out more and more. They're going to tell us about King and X in school, but they don't talk about Sam Cooke when that ridiculous story that they say how he got killed. All these other people got killed. Fred Hampton, with the movie is coming out now, you know, how many years later? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't even know about the part of the Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know. Fred was so powerful, he wasn't just putting black people together. He started uniting black, Latinos, white. And chapters started going so crazy. They said, "Oh, we got to kill this Negro for sure." Yeah.
And to piggyback off all of y'all, again, tied up in the bowl, I just think it's a situation to whereas we are looking at a systemic racism at its best. So when you're dealing with systemic racism, it's not that I agree with y'all in the concept that we don't. I would use different verbiage. I would say we don't honor our history. I don't say we don't respect it, because what has happened to us as a community, we've been indoctrinated into Americanism, is what I call it, because all of us are old enough to have stood in class and pledged allegiance. So that's step one. Only thing you learn about black folks is they slaves, and Crispus Attucks took the first L. That's all you know. Then my man Carver with the beans, Rosa Parks sat down, MLK, and Thurgood Marshall. That's black history. If you lucky, you got a homeboy who said Malcolm X, and you was like, "Oh yeah, him too." And then they slide into celebrities. Then you get to start seeing recently transitioned ancestor Cicely Tyson and Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor. That's Black history, because we went from powerful, ingenious people to entertainers, shucking and jiving. And no disrespect, because hell, if I could have been a football player, I would have been one. So I'm not saying it's wrong to do that, but you go from geniuses to athletes. So we're taught every day American history. And only thing, when they say American history, they say George Washington, and they tell lies about him. He never lied. He had wooden teeth. Yeah, but they don't tell you that the teeth that set in those wooden dentures were teeth out of our enslaved ancestors' mouths. Living people snatched teeth out their mouth, stuck them on wood so this clown could eat. They don't teach you about Hercules, about one of his enslaved and people that were on his plantation knew that if you left the state that you were enslaved in for 30 days, you were free. So Hercules and his old lady, they broke wide up to New York and said, and it's a series of letters, Hercules and his wife writing George, hey, y'all got to come back. Y'all got 10 days to get back. We going to be free? Well, don't write me no more. So they understood those laws and things like that. So we don't learn things like that. We don't. Tran nailed it home. I didn't learn nothing about me, therefore I don't know anything about me, so whatever you tell me about me becomes concrete. The concept of Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom is a fucking hero. Uncle Tom took the ultimate L for not snitching on people who said enough of this slavery shit. I'm out of here. And Simon Legree and what is it? Sambo and Simon Legree? Gumbo. Gumbo and Simon Legree. Simon Legree told Gumbo to beat Uncle Tom to death. So, but you sitting around get mad at somebody who speaking against the culture, you call him a hero because you don't know. You know, just simple shit that they continue to beat into our head that if we took the computer that we all walk around with, that's stronger than the computer that powered the rocket to go to the moon, allegedly, to the moon, allegedly. This thing is more powerful than the computer that allegedly sent them to the moon. It's a tool or a toy, but we don't take that into consideration because it took a movie for us to realize there's some sisters that devised that. Again, back to Tran's point. When you know, you go, hold it. Some sisters did that. When you know, Benjamin Banneker created the first standalone clock in North America, a brother. When you know that DC, it's hard to get around DC and places like Boston because people like Benjamin Banneker, people who look like us, designed those cities because they were scared the British were going to come back and kick them in their ass. So they made it hard to get around those cities, even though it's geometrically perfect. It's hard to get around the city. They did that to protect themselves. They also made your black ass not be able to read because it protects them. Like, it kind of annoys me when I'm studying the Bible. Oh, that's the white man's religion. No, it ain't. Because monotheology is the study of one God and it comes from the continent of Africa. His Bible is a duplicate of the Bible that sits in Ethiopia or Kush, or whatever you want to call it, or Kemet, whatever you want to call it. You're right. I'm just saying, that book sits there. The oldest copy of the book that you reading from is because we don't know. We haven't, because we're too busy talking about they stormed our Capitol building. And then if you knew anything about your past, you would go to what's the date? July 4th, 1865, and hear Frederick Douglass say, what does the 4th of July mean to the Negro? Nothing. Or if you have actually read the Declaration of Independence and you hear them say, King George is stirring up the black people and the Indians to get us. So we so busy caught up in the flag. We so busy caught up in, hey man, it's cool. We cool, kumbaya. And at the same time, it ain't cool. Me and Tran literally grew up close enough to look at these people. All of them stayed over there, and then none of them come on Cedric, then none of them come on Cleveland, and none of them come on Hudson. But they watched us, and but it's cool to come up here because Tran, you're a nice guy. Brian, you a nice guy. Patrick, you a nice guy. Nah, son, baby, you can't come over here, man. Stay your black ass home. Oh, so son, baby ain't good enough. So we have to introduce, I think Tone said it. We don't even introduce ourselves to who we are. So how we gonna be proud of who you are? Because all of us proud of who we are because we looked at somebody in our neighborhood and said, me and Tran looked at Mr. Moorhead. Tone looked at a couple of dudes around here. Jack did the same thing. And it can the more you can start off with somebody who the biggest criminal in town, but he has structure. That teaches you structure. And then you go, well, what does that get you? And then you go, next thing you know, me and Tran looking at Mr. White. Tran used to be one of Jesse White Thomas. Me and Tran, no, we hanging out with William Moorhead kids. We seeing these things. My man Craig father was a district attorney who introduced us to Jesse Jackson. And all this is, we know these things because we had opportunities. They never give our young people opportunities to see these things. Therefore, we continue to be in this circle jerk of ignorance, and now here we are. Either one, y'all I saw one of y'all want to build off that. Speak on it.
Like somebody has said previously, at some age though, at some point, all right, when is it on you as an individual to find out about you, right? You know what I mean? That's on us all as individuals at some point. Okay, you can't just keep on reading some shit in a book and listening and being in a conversation with some people. Oh, now that's your truth. Instead of researching and finding out, like it's incumbent upon all of us, because it's a point in life where you start searching for who you are on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And whatever journey that got you going that way, you do start looking for something deeper within. Who the fuck am I? Right? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never curious, you don't never build on that curiosity and go find out for your own self instead of somebody telling you something, then like they say, you could lead a horse to water but can't make him drink, right? So you can lead a herd of motherfuckers to the fountain of knowledge, and they don't want to even, goddamn it, man, they happy going back to the block and happy with the situation that they already used to live because they comfortable there. You know what I mean?
That's easy.
It's gotta be within you to want to go find out. If it ain't, then it just ain't. When you 30, 35, 40, you got kids and you got, generations that you're responsible for, then it's incumbent upon you to be able to get to feed them this knowledge that you have. Just like my man, his parents, he been knowing about that. That's how you was taught. I would have loved to get that type of teaching. I mean, I had a family that loved me and gave me, all the tools I needed to succeed in life. You know what I mean? But not necessarily feed me all the black history, but they gave me enough to know that I gotta go find some things that I gotta do for myself. Right? You know what I mean? But they gave me everything I needed to go, the breadcrumbs that I needed to follow the path. They gave me the breadcrumbs at least. You know what I mean? So and most of the people that I know that are successful and that think this way and that wanted to find out about themselves, they had a family structure or something within them to guide them in a path for them to search for themselves at some point. You know what I mean? So it all go back to family for me in the first place. But that's where it started. But then when they gave me what I needed for me to keep on going, they don't have to say, now go that way, go west, young man. No, I'm gonna go this way because I want to find out more. You know what I mean, about me. And it's people that I was always with that didn't care. But then it was people like you, B, and other people that cared about stuff like that. And that's the path that it'll lead you to. But if you don't even want to, you're not even curious about the shit, then that's saying something about who you are as a person. And everybody ain't going to be able to get on the motherfucking mothership when it's time to ride back. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be checking credentials. They're going to be checking credentials at the door, and everybody ain't going to have them credentials, man. Anyway, you going to have them credentials. That's it.
And you know what? That leads me right into the next question. Whose responsibility is it to teach us? Like Tran say, where is your intestinal fortitude? You have to have something inside of you. See, this question right here is the hardest one for me to answer out of all the questions I got out, because I agree with Tran on the intestinal fortitude. It has to be something inside of you to say, man, I'm bigger than the Vice Lord. I'm bigger than the Stone. I'm bigger than being folks. But also, what happens to the guy who's just, hey man, I'm working my ass off and I'm trying to make it, and he involved. He done dug asshole deep into this American thing, and now all of a sudden he driving a slick ride and he got the big crib. I'm an American. He ain't really wrong because he did it. But then the other guy like, no man, what about the racism? He going book? Yeah, I fought through it. Not realizing, nah, bro, you the one grain of rice that slipped through the straightener. They needed your ass to get out, because if you don't get out, or about 10 dudes that look like you don't get out, the whole thing falls apart. We're gonna go Jack, Rello, Tran, Tone on that. Speak on it.
Well, you know what, B, I gotta agree with you. That's a real tough question, because we don't have an origination point for any of this, you know, and that makes it difficult. So I would say it's our responsibility for those of us who know to make sure we pass it on, not just our kids and family, anybody who will listen. And at the same token, you know, I say that in conviction for me and mine, but I don't know where it's going to come from unless it comes that way. But there's no origination point, because it's been wiped out of history. The written documents, all accounts have been wiped out. So there's no point of origination unless it's coming through another individual. And the bits and pieces that we're finding more and more and more, you know, we putting it together. But at the same token, just like we sit and talk about it, I can tell you 40 more people don't give a damn about it. You know what I mean? At the same token, and then just like you said, that brother who made it, let me tell you this, man. This is what I know from the experience. I've experienced it on a small scale. And, you know, I've been around in situations in corporate America, just different things. Well, I've been around people made it, and I made it, and lost it, and made it, and lost it again. But this is one thing I can say for sure from experience. One day, that's just gonna eat at you, because when you up there and there ain't nobody else around but you, and many else, I know it from experience. You can only buy so many things to fill that hole, brother, and it ain't gonna fill it. It's not gonna fill it. And at some point, your success will become your misery. If you keep on turning a blind eye to what your inner man and your heart is telling you and saying it. So, you know, a lot of people might say, well, you say that now. I'm telling you from experience. Dude, I done had a lot, and I done had nothing more than once. And I done had the slick ride, all that. And, you know, it's only so many things you can buy to try to fill that hole in your soul, man. And it can't fill it. You get to a point where you either decide, I'm going to keep on doing this and keep on doing this to fill this hole. I'm going to address what I really need to address and say, hey, man, I'm miserable as hell right now, and I need to be happy. And the happiness cannot come from material stuff. It cannot. And nobody can say it. And I'm not going to say nobody. You can't honestly say that unless you experience it. Me to say that to somebody that hasn't experienced, they're going to be like, yeah, whatever. Nigga, you just lost yours. You don't know what you're talking about. But if you talk to anybody that has any sort of success, whether it be in the street, in the boardroom, or whatever, for us, they'll tell you, and they had any length of success, they'll tell you, man, that shit don't mean nothing at the end of the day. They're going to tell you that. You might tell everybody that, but you do the conversation, I heard it time and time again. I can't take it. Man, you know, yeah, that's all nice and dandy. But I was waking up every day, man, I was like, I don't know who the hell I am, man. And I ain't got a lot of examples about me. So, you know, we was in that building down there, 35 West Watkins. Everybody was in the mailroom. Some of us got blessed to go into something else. I was making commercials and going out on client things, out of town on business every day. You know how many black dudes was up there with me at that level? 2 out of the whole company. Me and 2 other dudes. A worldwide company. In the Chicago division, there was only 2 of us. All the rest of our friends were in the mail room, on the dock, this and that, and ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything wrong with that at all. Don't make fun of better. But I'm saying the mental aspect of it, you know, when you say, what you gonna tell that brother? Let him live long enough in that realm. You're not telling him nothing. He gonna know. Because they let you know that you don't belong in their own way. They'll like you. They'll kick you with you. But you ain't one of them. And don't never think you are. They're gonna let you know when you start thinking you are in their own way.
Rello?
And in regards to the question that you asked us, like, it's not, in my opinion, it's not too often that you find somebody that has within their own mind the sense and understanding to say, hey, that there is something better than what I know. Everything that we learn in this world comes from another source in general. It usually comes from your parents, or your family, or your environment. You know what I mean? So it's not often that you're gonna find that person and say, hey, you know what? I need to know everything about who I am in this world before everything. It comes from somewhere. So a lot of times people are already put in this situation ill-equipped. They don't have the tools. You gotta have the tools, the good foundation to understand those type of questions or pose those type of questions to yourself. If you just growing up, I'm gonna give you an example. I was in a liquor store on Kezian Lake one time, and it was a little girl in there with her mother, and the little girl, she might have been like 2-3 years old the most. She might have been like 3-4 years old the most, to be fair. And her mother was in front of me, and I'm behind them, and I'm just waiting in line. And the girl, for no reason, is just like looking back at me, like hitting me with the sticking her tongue out at me and all this. And I'm like, I'm looking at the little girl, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm looking at her, I'm looking at her mother, but her mother not paying attention. And then so finally the girl just hit me. And I had a mom, I'm like, yo, what's up? She looked at the little girl, she like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, she just hit me. She looked at her daughter again, and then looked at me and say, well, what I'm supposed to do? I said, well, you know that's how I start, right? She just gave me a blank stare and just turned around. How is that child going to have the wherewithal to understand when she gets 18 to 20-something years old to say, hey, I know it's better in life than what I know? You know what I mean? Like, got the point. She's ill-equipped from the gate. I got cousins like that. I got family like that. But my mother, I mean, not to bring up again, but I mean, that's just the basis of a lot of the shit that I know. You know what I mean?
Celebrate her, brother.
In Joliet. Yeah, you're right. She grew up in Joliet, you know? Her grandmother, Big Mama, I had a real Big Mama that brought everybody up from the South. She came from the South with everybody, you know, with her good job at steel mill, you know, and started putting people in place. And my grandmother wasn't as what's the word? As ambitious as her. You know what I mean? But she came up to, obviously, but my grandmother was having children at a young age. But my mother was able to look at Big Mama and had a lot of principles put in place from Big Mama. Big Mama, you know, always went to work. She always had the rules in order. She always had the standards together. She always talked with respect. She was dealing with people like Jimmy Hoffa. Big Mama was in the union. She was a playmaker. Moms was like peeping that. My other aunts didn't really peep that and move for it, but Mom was like, hey, something going on here. And from that, it also taught her that my life is bigger than just sitting on the porch in Joliet looking at the cars go by. Mm-hmm. It's something for me to grab somewhere else from here. So when the Nation of Yahweh came knocking on the door, she knew immediately that, man, this is something that I was looking for in my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I knew there was more to it. Even though we didn't stay in that world, it was a stepping stone. Mm-hmm. She already had the tools to get something out of something else. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of our people don't have that. And I'm not making an excuse for them. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just on the aspect of coming from somebody with that kind of similar background where it's like, just grow up and just be grown up. You know what I mean? Somebody came up out of that. My mother is still looked at like the top, she's like the shaman in the family. Not that she's the most successful or anything, you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with that.
Matriarch, brother.
Right. She has the whole understanding and the knowledge that people come to her for every day, all day. From my cousins to her sisters to my little, to the cousins after that, the little cousins, the second cousins, you know what I mean? They all come to her for information because she was able to grasp from the tools that she had from Big Mama to move on. And in turn, another example, as I started to get older, when I got probably in my mid-20s, I was like, Ma, he taught me about all this. This is exactly what I said. I'm not sugarcoating. I told her, I was like, Ma, you taught me all this shit about this black shit and who I am and all this, that, and the third. They ain't had nothing to do with my credit. You ain't teach me about credit and finances. I was mad. And she was like, look, Ishba, I taught you what I knew. That's on you. I was able to separate you from the other situation and gave you I gave you a platform to build on that. She said, you're right. I didn't know about none of that. I couldn't teach you that. But what I taught you, you able to use that to put yourself in a better situation, and from that you have better understanding. And she's like, by the fact that you even coming to me upset about it, it shows me that I did my job.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Right. That's grown woman business right there.
You coming to be mad about it. Right. I did my job, man. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't even come to me about it.
Exactly.
Right. We wouldn't be talking about this right now.
We wouldn't even be having this conversation. So I can only do what I can do. I gave you the tools to get to that next level. Now what I did was broke that whole spell that we had. So I broke us out of this situation. I taught you something. Now it's on you to teach your kids this and then break them out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, you're right. I should have to shut the fuck up. I was like, okay.
Tran?
You're right.
Oh, that's it. Well, hey, what you said, I kind of piggybacking off what you said. My answer to the question is who's responsible for teaching this? It ain't necessarily somebody that, just like the example he gave, that's not gonna tell you every detail, but they gonna give you enough for you to go on and find out the rest. But they gave the piece to you, like I said, the breadcrumbs, the tools in the toolbox. They gave you what you needed. So for me, my answer is it's your because what they say, it takes a village.
Yes.
To raise a child. The village. We gotta rely on the village and the family and everybody within the village, right? Because when I was out there on the strip and doing my thing and whatever, and gang banging on the quarter late and doing what the fuck I was doing, and I get home, my mama like, my friend told me he saw you over there. Huh? Somebody watching me? I don't
don't even know. And I still don't know to this day. But she had spies on deck. I heard you was over there doing this. How the hell you know I'm on camera? Show me the video. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, like, you know, my mother opened me up, gave me what they, you know, my mother and father gave me what they could give me of all they had. They poured what they had into me and say, all right, you got to do something with this right here. We giving you enough. And you know, I was born, you know, just a little backstory. I was born in Town and Garden, 1358 North 2nd, in the fucking building, right? You know what I'm saying? We moved, we was out south in Robert Taylor. Then we came back north, and my mother and father wanted to come back north because they didn't want to be out south. They grew up with Jeff Ford. They grew up in the Hornets and the motherfucking, you know, and Robert Taylor's, all that shit, right? So my mother knew, I got to get to the north side. And that gave me a chance to see how the white people, and to be around white people and Chinese people and people with money, and just to see it, and to see it's possible. It sent me to St. Vincent de Paul. And sent me had me going on, you know, trips on us, you know, summer trips to log cabins in Milwaukee somewhere with the Boys and Girls Club, but it was all types of people. So it wasn't just all black people. I got to see all that shit. So it wasn't foreign, and I saw how they was living. I'm like, shit, hell yeah. I like this. This is unlimited. I could do this from seeing that. I could do all this shit. This is all in me to do. You know, and then later on, I got back in the gangbanging, magnetized back to the block I was born on, and got the gang banging and got to doing all that type of shit. But even with that, I met a dude from, you know, I'm on some Vice Lord shit. This dude is a gangster disciple, but he got the weed, and me and all my guys, we kicking it with him, an older dude, out the pen. He teaching us the craziest shit in the world. The whole situation crazy. He a gangster disciple. We hate gangster disciples. We gang bang actively. We in his crib, smoking weed, kicking it. He teaching us about goddamn Marcus Garvey and the Moorish people. How the fuck did that even happen? But that just opened my mind to, wait, what? And that was just a sense of pride, like, damn, for real? Wait, huh? Okay. Again, totally opposite motherfucker that would never be. Usually we'd be, you know, trying to put that motherfucker down. But we in his crib smoking, kicking it, and learning, and this opening, I'm like, what? Wait, how come I never even, but that was just another morsel, another breadcrumb to say, well, then what's behind that? Well, if it's more, right? It's more, it's gotta be more. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying, that's the village. That's part of the village that put something in me to say, here, take this, man. And I don't know if anybody else that I was with, because all them guys, most of them guys, end up really just being career gangbangers. You know, all the guys I was rotating with. You know what I'm saying? But that just brought that into my mind when we was talking about this. I'm like, damn, a motherfucker done put me up on Marcus Garvey, old gangster disciple, hardcore ass motherfucker from the pen. And I don't even know why we was young, so it was weird that we was in his crib. I'm like, what is he? What is he trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the gangbanging started out of community activism, man.
Yes, of course it did. And that goes to a whole nother thing.
In Chicago,
that's crazy. That's the same thing, though, because even from, like, the way that my parents was teaching me about Jeff Ford, it was more respect involved when they spoke about him besides just being a terrorist and a gangbanger and, you know, terrorizing the neighborhood. It was more like they was putting him on a level like, well, he ain't the chairman, he ain't Louis Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, but he's somebody that got some information that's really trying to help the people, right? That's how they, just from the way they looked at him and they talked about it. Like those, again, little breadcrumbs. Okay, I'm going in this direction. Let me see what else I can find out. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, it take the whole village, and then it start with really the parent. Like, you know, you might not have the parents, but it might be your grandmama that pull you to the side and, hey, baby, you need to. She can just give you some little information that'll be the little thing that'll spark your interest into a whole nother thing. Like, it could just be something so simple that you wouldn't, but it's just something that she giving to you. Because they always, you know, I'm in that age bracket where, you know, I got 4 kids. I got
3-year-old, I got a 3-year-old, I got a 6-year-old, I got babies. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole, I want them to speak correctly. I want them to know that any word they can think of, I teach them a word, I tell them everything. Everything is open. Anything they ask about, if I don't know it, I'll look it up immediately.
Let me piggyback off you for a second, Tran.
Another thing, just on the same type of shit though, through fucking through me rapping, I'm reading the goddamn the dictionary. Like it's a fucking senior motherfucking book that we gotta do a book report on. I'm just reading through that motherfucker like, man, shit. Oh, I need to use this word. I gotta make sure it's in the right context. I gotta make sure I say it correctly, spell it correct. I'm talking about that whole thing, right? So that's through hip hop. I mean, it took a lot of things, but everything was a piece of what put me in a direction. But it started with my parents, like I said, laying them breadcrumbs down, giving me all the tools that I need in the toolbox. If I need to saw something, I got it. If I need to hammer something, I got it. I got nails and screws. You know what I'm saying? I had a drill. So I'll figure that shit out when I get to it. You know what I mean? So to me, it takes the whole. But if the family is the ones that you're gonna get the information from first. They're gonna teach you everything. You know what I mean? How to walk, how to talk, how to eat, how to shit, how to wipe your ass. They're gonna teach you everything you need to know. And your media family, then outside of that, it's the village that is responsible for filling us up with what we need to get to. You know what we need. You know what I'm saying? In Black history.
Before
the community.
Before Tone goes, I want to say this. Two things that both of y'all bounced off of. Y'all talking about community. First of all, here's a piece of our heritage. There's no word on the continent for aunt or uncle. They're just your parents. Your mother, sister, and brother. Those are your parents. That's why in the culture, on the continent, they name you too. When you meet an African person, they got like 19 names because they got 9 or 10 brothers and sisters. So that ties into that. And ironically, the ancestors are definitely blessing this conversation because Tran, it's funny that you brought up the dictionary today. Two things. I used to have a peanut. I used to like Charlie Brown as a kid. My mama bought me a Charlie Brown dictionary. I also was a comic book dude. I thought the shit was a comic book, so I was reading it. It was a fucking dictionary. It wasn't a comic book. And second thing, it's funny that you said what you said today. You teaching your kids words. Just yesterday, the Wall Street Journal put out an article that states there is a 3 million word difference between our kids and their kids.
Wow.
It's amazing. That's why I said the ancestors ordained this. One of my closest friends is reading the dictionary. I'm reading a comic book. I think my mom was like, "What you reading that book for?" I was like, "You bought a comic book. It was just thick. It's just gonna take me more than 20 minutes to get through it." Tran doing the same thing right down the street. And then you come up, I got to teach my kids words because this is ordained by the ancestors. I want to say one more thing. This is Built for This Network. I'm HRap. This is a show called The End of the Bench, Build and Destroy. I'm talking to Tone. I'm talking to Tran. I'm talking to Rello. I'm talking to Jack. And in the next voice you will hear, please continue to support. The next word you hear will be Tone. Take over there, Tone.
Well, who's in charge of teaching? That's a really tricky question, B, because if I teach my kids what I know that's right, and they go to school with that information, and the school, like, where do you hear that from? I'm right. You said about your daughter. You know what I'm saying? You done told her some things, and she go to school with that. You're like, hold on, you got to come up here, Mr. Williams, because your daughter is saying this, and this.
I'm doing it out of pocket.
Your daughter's out of pocket. And you said she's not lying. She's telling the truth. I was going to school to right. Where she get this information from? So it's important. It's a hard, tricky question. How we teach them this? Because once they take it, kids, they're going to take it to the school. And the teacher looking at them like, if the teacher don't know the information and the kids know the information, then they looking like they on some bullshit. Like they on some BS. Like, oh man, this kid trying to enter my class. Like, no, that's not true. This such and such developed that. Such and such created electricity. I mean, like, no. You a clown. You got to get out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I give you the answer.
Right.
Ethel Adams, Lonnie Gardner, 8th grade teacher, 7th to 8th grade teachers in my elementary school, William E. Gladstone Elementary, don't even exist no more. You know what they taught us how to do? Remember the Iowa test? Every year, around this time, we was shut down for 2-3 hours in school taking the Iowa test. Mr. Gardner, Miss Adams taught us how to beat the test. And once the test was over, they taught us how they did. So, when we give our kids this information, and let them know everything ain't for everybody. I'm teaching you this to enhance you, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, and everybody else. You don't have to challenge that teacher. You just realize he or she don't know what you know. So now you got to sit in that class and teach even more. Example of this, I was reading that damn dictionary, that Peanuts dictionary. Miss Adams got angry with us one day because we was acting a fool on a field trip. The next day we come back to class. She got pneumonia and leukemia on the board. Now, if anybody ever seen pneumonia and leukemia, they don't look like pneumonia and leukemia. And all the smart kids, all the smart, kids who actually applied themselves, they on the other side. And only way Miss Adams would call on me because she knew I was relatively intelligent, but I was a dickhead. I wanted to be the funny guy. My grandmother lived right across the street. I'm watching Green Acres. But I'm really not watching Green Acres because I know when I daydream, she going to call on me. She called on all the smart kids. I'm watching Green Acres. She said, what about you? I say, what? Read these words. I say, which one? Leukemia or pneumonia? And she just smiled like, you got it. And that's what we got to do, man. We have to. And maybe we need to put our kids back in predominantly black institutions as well. Because...
You know what, B? With that being said, it's even more imperative, like all y'all say, because you have noticed Black History Month ain't even a month no more. It's a week now, 2 weeks, and you hear less and less and less. They don't even teach it at school like they used to no more. You might get a subject here and there, and a couple things hung on the wall. They not tell you nothing about it no more. So if we not putting it in our kids, they like a man said, every kid ain't got it in them to say what's more about me. It's gonna be a lost art if we don't keep it up. Because I'm telling you, they are slowly removing it completely out of school and out of everything. Even on TV. Just remember, let's go back 8 years ago. The History Channel. February, that joke was loaded all month with stuff. The History Channel don't even put Black History on right now. You might get a King program, if you lucky, an X program, but that's only one time the entire month. They are slowly just watering it down to where it's nothing unless we pass it on.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta pass it on. That's where it come from. It come from what we got, and even if you ain't got kids, you got some nieces, some nephews, some cousins, some little cousins, and in the end, the information we got is meant to be passed down. So regardless if you think they're listening or not, go and hit them with it. This is somebody gonna retain that information or be like, huh? Well, hold on, let me think about. They might question it and then go find out more about it. Like just, again, I got to keep on going back to, the little breadcrumbs, the little, whatever I got that I can give, that's an extra breadcrumb for you to go in this direction. You know what I mean? And that's really, like I say, because that's where it all came from when I always look back. It all came from the community and the village and the people. But it started with the family, and my mama, she ain't know every goddamn thing. My daddy ain't know every goddamn thing. But they gave me what they had, which was enough to open me up, to have my mind open enough to learn something new. And then on another note, when I teach my kids, they don't damn Santa Claus, they don't damn Easter Bunny, you don't damn none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all fake. I'm the one buying all this fake. Like, we gonna break this up real quick. All your friends at school talking about Santa Claus, you talking about, no, my daddy bought that for me. Yeah, like you have to understand, I'm not gonna trick you with a lie, and that's the lie that we perceive. There we go again, little white lies. They cool with them, right? You can tell, you can fake your kids, tell them that a tooth fairy put a damn dollar under their damn pillow. What?
So now you want me to believe that, but then you telling me not to lie. But I'm lying. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's little simple stuff. No, bro, I'm the one buying all this. I bought that.
Your mama got that.
I bought that. Everything. I bought it. It ain't nobody. It ain't no extra nobody. All this is, and again, I teach my kids more truth. They could, your teacher, and I will even tell you, your teacher ain't gonna teach you this. You don't have to say it to her. You hear her say it, talk to them like they got to understand. That's how I talk to my 6-year-old. Like he got to understand it. Somebody that understand what I'm saying. And maybe he might not, but still, I'm giving this to him. So basically, question every goddamn thing. Don't just accept what somebody tell you. You know what I mean? So that's where it started. I'm just fertilizing that grass for him, so he'll be ready to. What did you just say? Oh no, I gotta research that. Later on in life. But it start with, like I say, it really start with the parents. Just for me, how I came up, because that's where I got, my foundation. Like my man say, your foundation. That's where it came from. Truth, being honest. Yes, no, having manners, like simple stuff. Knowing when I'm wrong. If I'm doing wrong, at least I know I'm doing wrong.
Right.
It's on me now. Right? I ain't just doing wrong just cause. Cause I know I'm doing wrong because I know I'm doing wrong and I chose to do it because I think I can get away with it. So now it's on me. Right? It ain't now. So accountability. Right? All that stuff is so important, man. That foundation is really the most important shit in life. At least from my perspective, because that gave me the foundation to know, well, shit, I know when I'm wrong, I know when I'm right. This don't feel right. I know when I gotta question this. I ain't just gonna accept this. And I might, I'll be in a corporate situation somewhere. I'll be the only one questioning management. And everybody else, but we talk about this shit all day in the hallway, all day next to each other. They got a million things to say, but when we in front of them people, they ain't got shit to say. Right. But I'm the one being able to articulate everything everybody been saying in a way that I ain't begging. I'm telling you what the problems are.
Exactly.
How you gonna address it? Like just do that. And again, I go through, the dictionary, everything. That put me in a situation where I was a spokesman. Oh my God, they put me on this committee, that team, just from the way I speak. And I'm straight there. I'll switch it up and I'll go. They won't understand a word I say when I drop all the slang on their ass. But I'm just saying, in that environment, I can speak fluently and it helped me to be able to communicate the ideas to everybody else that they ain't scared to talk to these people. Well, I ain't scared to talk to you, just another person like me, right? So it all starts somewhere, and when they put that into you, you can't really be denied, man. Yeah.
Okay. Next to the last question I'm gonna ask is the lack of this information, because it's at such a lack. Is this one of the main triggers to the violence, the drug abuse, and all the things that all of our ills in our community? You know what? Ish, Jack, Tran.
I think he froze. Yeah, he froze up.
Oh, okay. Well, Jack, take it, and then we'll get back to Ish when he unfreeze. Oh, you didn't hear it. Okay. I said, because of this lack of knowledge, do you consider that to being a major contributor to the ills of our community?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. 100%. 100%. You go back to what I said earlier. If you ill-equipped, if you don't have the proper tools, how you gonna build a good house with the proper tools? Without the proper tools, you see what I'm saying? Like you can't do it. You can't build a good foundation without a good foundation. Without a good foundation. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. And that's all by design. It goes back to what I said earlier about the people that control your image. I saw an interview with what's the guy name? He's a black guy. He's a comedian. Used to be a comedian, but he owns the Weather Channel.
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen. Right. Yes, Byron Allen. Mm-hmm.
And he talked about how he sat down in a meeting with one of those guys, one of them old white dudes, and he was talking about how he wanted to buy something, own his station, own his company, whatever. And the guy was like, man, why would you want to, why you need to do that? Why are you so worried about doing that? And he said, he asked the man, hey man, would you be okay with me controlling how the world view your daughter?
Mm-hmm. I saw that interview, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, well, so why would you? It's, yeah, it's all part of it. Because in our community, I'm one of them older guys that's like, when I hear older guys talk shit about Chief Keef or the new rap, it's like, yo, why you talking shit about these guys when the worst part of what set it up was done in our generation?
By us, we
passed it on. And we passed it on.
That's what we passed on to our
that's what we failed. I take responsibility for that. That's what we failed. Yeah, man.
I was out here in the streets of this
boys, all this gangster rap music shit, man. It started when we was the kids, man.
Yeah. And we imitated what we heard and did it.
My stepfather told me when I was a kid, the black community fucked up when NWA, when Eazy-E said, and he's a black hero. He said when NWA said, I never leave the house without packing my gun, that fucked us up, man.
Yeah.
I agree. Not the only thing, but it's part of it. It's a big part of it.
That's a major part of it.
Words are powerful.
No, they are. Images and words are super powerful.
Hip-hop has proven to this second that it's the most influential thing on this planet, man.
Yeah.
It is the most. They got white people acting like niggas. They got white people acting like niggas. They got white women want to look like niggas, like black women, and they got the black women trying to look like the white women that look like black women. You know?
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Strong it is.
I agree.
But what they did, right? Because look what we was talking about. Like I talked about earlier, what hip hop was. It started with the message. It was more about messages. It was more about who we are. It was more about being proud. They saw how powerful that was. They like, oh no. We get right out of Public Enemy and all these other groups. They choose NWA to pump up. They put them on the pedestal, right? And I'm not even mad at them because they was just speaking what they saw out their eyes, right? And really
in the background, that was like
they the one.
Hey, we can.
They the one.
We can push this image on the people.
They are the ones. They the ones right now that's hyping a motherfucker and put a $24 million motherfucking diamond in his sword in his fucking forehead. Okay? The motherfuckers that's wearing tight, like, again, it is what it is. I ain't tripping. I try to, not really critique it.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be heavy-handed with these young people. I see what it is, though.
I hear you.
And I'm gonna tell my son. I'm gonna give it to my son the raw way. This is what it is, bro. Right? Like, you could be about that. That's fine. But I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? When you get out of it, you're gonna see. Don't take this music. But the music is powerful, and even with it's a frequency, man. It's so deep, like the frequency of the beats.
Collective.
It's just like hypnotizing, bro. I'm talking about they got this shit down to a science.
Now, yeah.
But this is a science. This ain't just happening. This ain't just happening.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So they using this, and they got all the messages. It started with NWA. I mean, it started, with Sugar Hill Gang and all the rest of them, but the messages was more about the environment that we was living in. We wasn't mad. I mean, we wasn't like aggressive towards the police, but I'm talking about it kept on going, and then it got to the niggas with attitude. The niggas like, damn, the niggas with attitude. That's it right there.
And now
just even that name.
Now it got it to the point to where either you got to be a gangster, a drug dealer, a drug user, or a stripper, or a murderer.
That's the only thing they
You forgot one. Or gay.
What's that? You can't be cool without it. Gay. Yeah, gay. That's it. All of it. It's everything. It's everything wrapped. The worst of everything wrapped in one. That's the message that's being sent. And then you ask one of these dudes that's getting it. Motherfucker, I heard Young Thug, they asked him about, what do you think about the black people, being shot by police? I'm just trying to get lit and kick it. I ain't really Lil Wayne. Same way. It's not all police. Like, really? This the message y'all carrying? Get out of here. But again, you understand the power of media and the power of this propaganda. Like at our age we do, right? But that shit is infecting a lot of minds, and if they ain't had no home training, it's fucked up.
But see, even most people from our generation, we still kind of understood and knew that it wasn't really real. Now the fake is real. We knew it, we understood, and we listened. It was entertaining. It was good sound. We love it. I love it. I love it to this day. But we still knew that it was fake. Because we know we come from an era and generation where the real gangsters, the real drug dealers, the people that's really out here gangbanging and doing all that shit on the underworld side, that's real outlaws, they not talking about it on no fucking record. Or Instagram.
Oh no.
They not on no record.
Yeah.
They not on film. They not on anything unless they wire with taps.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? To us, it's like,
Or they getting out of jail within the last 90 days, like Guy Fisher and Harry O.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
Exactly. We know the difference. But nowadays, because everything is right here, you can't see what I'm doing, but my phone is in my hand.
Yeah, I hear it's happening.
The world is accessible. The whole world that we know it as human beings is accessible right here. Yeah.
It's either a tool or a toy.
And so that makes it even much. This is the new God. So that what makes it even worse. The impact of what it has on our children. Because it's no buffer zone no more. It's nothing to say, hey, don't go in your room, don't turn that shit off, or don't give me your radio, or you're not gonna be playing that shit in my house. It's all in your phone. It's all in your hand, 24/7. You can't escape it.
That's true as hell.
They get to push that image to you 24/7 every time of the motherfucking day, no matter what, no matter who's around. You can turn your volume down, nobody can hear it. You can put the shit on mute, look at the images. You can make your
You got your earbuds. You got earbuds.
Right. You can make your own.
You can't even hear what your daddy's saying.
Yeah. It's limitless now, man.
Yeah. And God forbid your kids, when you get in trouble, you take their phone from them. They got like crackheads just got his life. So
it is a drug.
I'm serious. It is. It is dedication. Like I got a 13-year-old. All my kids know, but I got a 13-year-old. And the dude, all you gotta do is take his phone from him. He broke up. He hurt.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what to do.
Phone is everything for him. And that's why I take it on a regular basis. Because you know what? Sometimes it's like, dude, just give me the phone because you don't even need it. Because I don't want him to get into this pattern and just being stuck on this stuff. Now, don't go, man, turn the phone off, turn the Xbox off. Here go a book, man. Read that for an hour. Try that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't wake up in the morning and you on Xbox before you go wash your face. You know what I'm saying? You on the phone. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's real.
It's crazy.
That's real. It's in their pocket. That shit is powerful.
Hey, speaking of books, this is a book I want all the brothers to get, man. I'm going to put myself on the screen by myself so y'all get a better look at it. Y'all see it?
Yeah. What's that, a rising?
The Dead Are Rising. It's a book about Malcolm X. Okay. It's the same as the original book, but it's told by his siblings, his friends, his homeboys. Red Fox has got some stuff in there. it's a dope book, and it's something that we all need to check out. You know, his older sister Ella. Huh?
I read the first autobiography when I was in school. It's crazy. That's the only time I ever read a novel in the age, front to back. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, this.
No, that was something you needed to know.
You're right. There's another book. Is another book by his brother Cobb. We Shoot Back. Another book is a book called That Nonviolent Stuff Will Get You Killed. It's about, the reason I'm bringing these books up is because those three books, this book is about Malcolm, and the other two books are about the people from our ancestors that wasn't just cowering from the Klan. Like at the beginning of Rosa Parks' book, she tells the story about how her grandfather used to sit up in the house with a couple of pistols and a shotgun on his chest, on his lap, saying, if they run up in here, it's going to be a problem. And she said she used to sit at his feet and hope she could watch him kill one. So this lets you know, the reason we want people to, y'all and other people to read these books is, this lets people know that we weren't just cowering and things like that. We were also people who stand up people. So, before we got a few more minutes in the show, unless y'all got some additional comments.
Let me answer the question.
Hold on. I got it's my daughter's, it's my 20th birthday today, man. So.
Oh, okay. Man, you celebrate your daughter, man?
Yeah. Little Chloe, man. It's
man.
Her birthday today.
Yeah,
happy birthday. Man, I thank you for you and Tone for both of y'all have family obligations. Y'all gave me a little bit of y'all time.
I don't look that old, but
you that old. You that old. You used to not be that old. You that old now. Yeah. You know what you are? You the same age that you used to call me old at Young Punk. Remember that? Yeah. Yeah. The same age. You used to call me old at, remember? Yeah. I love it. But man, Big Ish, Tom, thank y'all for helping. I'm gonna take you off Ish, and then I'm gonna give it to Tran, and I'm gonna give it to Jack wanna answer the question. And Jack, when you man, much love, brother. Appreciate you, man. Much love.
You should do something like this. You should do something like this every month, man.
Now, what I'm gonna do?
Get like this.
What I'm gonna do? At least once a month, I'm gonna do it for them. Every week this month, I'm gonna do it for them on a different topic, so we can get brothers and sisters. I'm gonna see if I can get 4 sisters up here next week. Okay. And then, Jack, you answer that question. And how would you change the celebration of Black History Month if you had the ability? Peace. Much love, Rello. Much love, brother. No. Answer the original question and then continue with that question.
Well, I'm in agreement with everybody else. The original question has a lot. What's going on with Black people, the misinformation that we experience, and I can say that just from myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How I've changed since I've informed myself, and how it's made me have a different sense of pride and have a different sense of understanding. And a lot of it has to do with exposure, like everybody was saying, like people dispose different things. This made me appreciate my mother even more. Now she didn't necessarily do going to the Black History part. But my mother exposed me to a lot of stuff at a young age. And like the brother was saying, he was going to the Boy Scouts and all the different stuff. That exposure is key, man. You know what I mean? Exposure along with information is a very powerful thing. Our people, the misinformation, which is deliberate, was the key division, has caused us to be all over the place, and that's the one thing that we don't have as a people. And every other nation or every other whatever you want to refer to, the different groups of people are, and they have an identity. We the only people We getting one now, but we the only people that have walked around on this earth since in America and never really had an identity of who we were. Every other people have a foreign language that says we're this one person. Latinas got Spanish. Czechoslovakians have a language. That was another thing they stole from us that we don't talk about. They stole our original language. Because language is what ties a group of people together, makes them say we the same. Because we all got different personalities. And we all think different, whatever. But what is it about us? We always think that over here trying to be with white folk, trying to be with Latinas, trying to be. We always broke up trying to get somebody else's group and be a part of them, and they'll be a part of our own. And I really thought about this. The one thing that we don't have that they made sure they took from us was our native language. And to this day, we don't even know what that is. And that native language is key because that's what says me and you the same thing. When we get around a group of people, one, we had a language we can speak that nobody else understood. That makes us say we the same. They give us an identity. And in that language, there's the information that we couldn't get. Because now, they don't even know what we telling each other, what we talking about. So, there's that community, in effect, along with that. You know what I'm saying? So, misinformation got us all over the place. The stealing of our native language as a people have us walking around in an identity crisis. That has a lot to do why we can't come together as one, because we still run around thinking we ain't the same. A lot of us on this yeah, we black. But when you look at it like, man, when you start talking to people, man, I don't fool with the niggas. They about this, they the niggas. I rock with these niggas. No, we all the same, bro. It's okay to have a difference of opinion and be different in your personality. Why is it we the only people that take it to the extreme and just stop dealing with each other? Everybody else go through the same thing, same different personality. It's an asshole in every culture. It's a stupid motherfucker, it's a thief in every other culture, but they don't denounce each other. We the only ones do it because they have one thing that constantly ties together even when they don't want it to. I might hate this dude, I might not like him, but when it comes down to the end of the day, when I start speaking, I'm gonna say hola and blah 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 blah, and we the same whether we want to be or not. You know what I'm saying? We the same. We lost that. We got taken from us. We got stolen. You know what I mean? How we get it back? I don't have all that. I never what it was.
But you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
And we too stupid to embrace. I'm not gonna call it stupid. We too ignorant. I'm gonna say ignorant. We too ignorant to embrace things like slang and what they call ebonics. We shun that off, but that could be a way. Yep, we could literally sit up and exactly.
No, I was thinking that when he was saying that. Like, well, we do have like slang. Like, and, you know, we don't really, right? We don't really put a premium on it. We like, that's just hood talk. But like I was saying earlier, you know, I could be sitting up here, you know, in corporate America and motherfuckers speaking, you know, the Queen's perfect English, and the same motherfucker with me hit me on a conversation on the phone with one of my guys. Like, what did you say? They don't know shit. Everything I said was foreign to them.
Yes.
And it happened to me like that. And I'm kicking with the white guy. I'm just, alright, well, I'm shit. I'm a chameleon. I'm wherever motherfucking environment I am, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna transform. It ain't like I'm being fake. I'm just being
code switch.
You know what I'm saying?
W.E.B. Du Bois talked about it.
Yeah.
He talked about it.
That's it.
Code switch.
And that's where it starts. Like, for me, I respect the slang part, because that is our own, and we can make 10 more slang words up the next month.
Exactly.
Understand what the fuck they, you know, how that shit spread. It do, right?
It spread.
It does, though.
I mean,
right? You know, that's
at the time,
our shit that they gotta find out. Like, even white folks using woke, but their version of woke compared to our version of woke,
it's two
separate things.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about this?
I'm like, woke. I'll go white motherfucker be woke.
How about this?
You know what I'm saying?
We heard NWA, we heard New York, we heard the South, and nobody ever had to explain to us what it meant. They said we the dirty South. We didn't think they were filthy. We was like low down and dirty. How it go?
Yeah, right,
we hear people say what it do. We know what it do mean.
Yeah, right.
And nobody had to tell us what gaffle meant. I ain't never got gaffle like that. Okay, I know what that is. For example, none of us, I'm the common denominator in all 5 people that was on here tonight. Nobody did, it was, when you said your mom drove on you and pressed you, my friend saw it and you was like, and then I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Everybody who listening and everybody on the show was like, yeah, that's how it goes. So,
but you know what that is, though? That's that code. That's
yes.
And we, again, you could be on, like you said, you could be in Florida, you could be in Utah, you could be in motherfucking, LA, you could be in New York, Chicago, St. Louis. Yeah, them buzzwords, you already, okay, yeah, so that's how they say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We
right.
say it like this, but they say it like that, but it's the same.
It's the same.
Immediately, I have to ask my cousin what they was talking about.
Right.
What they was talking about.
Yes. But
you
know we won't embrace it.
We already, because it's in our DNA, bro, almost. You know what I'm saying?
Here's another thing. Watch this. Did either one of y'all know I see you comes from the continent? That's an African term. And it means exactly what we mean. It means, I see you, like you show up in a new route. I see you, Trey. Oh, I see you, Jack, with the new crib. That's African. It just came over with us. So what y'all saying is 100% true. Once we embrace who we are, you can walk in a room and say, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, here go another one. Nobody explained to me what ooh, up the bam, this, that, and the third meant. When I heard it, he was like, yeah, ooh, up the bam, this, that, and the third. It was like, yeah, blase, blah. Okay. That's enough of the story. I'm getting to the meat of it. Right. And then ooh, up the bam, this, that, and the third. Oh, okay. He's skipping the non-important detail. Last question. We got 10 minutes to go. Last question. If you could take this whole Black history construct and change it or improve it, make some improvements, what would you do? Either one of y'all can take the flow first, and then I'm going to close it out.
Well, I would personally have right, because you got a motherfucking whitewash version of it, right? Get that out of here. Right, you gotta be honest, let us tell our motherfucking history. And if we could tell a history like it is told by the motherfuckers who was enslaved and the motherfuckers who are the victims, right? Then that way we'll have a better understanding because, again, when we talk, the way we receive it is from the colonists. They the ones that colonialized the shit. They the ones that had the foots on the necks and they was the aggressors. We don't get to hear, what the victims, how they felt and how they saw it. Because it's totally different. Like, it's flowery. When you think about, I was reading a book the other day. Somebody just put an African guy from Ghana put me up on a book. It's about American history. But it's told from that, and the author is telling you that he's telling it from the perspective of, the conqueror instead of the conqueror. And just even reading that, how the brutality, when you read it, you understand what it is, because you know how brutal goddamn Christopher Columbus was.
Right.
But he a hero. It's a American holiday. Still to this day, even though everybody is disputing, oh hell no, this dude wasn't no hero. The shit he did, he was a motherfucker, he slaughtered people. Right? But I'm saying that they celebrate it still to this day, when people get a day off, and they don't have to go to school that day, or whatever happened that day. You know what I'm saying? That's how far they propaganda done with, but everybody know. But reading the book though, you like, oh my gosh, it's raw. And you reading it, but it's like, this is rated R. Like, it gotta be a warning sign on the book before you start reading. Because once you read, you like, the cruelty and the brutality of these motherfuckers. And it never stopped. And it's with all the people, you know, all the conquerors all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And went here, went there, you know, and enslaved people. And when you understand it from that side, that's when it really get in you like, okay, this is what this was. And if you could get it to that level and be truthful and honest, I think people will respect it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about, you know, trying to make the white people look bad. Y'all do look bad. You can't look good.
You did.
Look good. You know what I'm saying? Until he telling the story how he was being attacked and had to kill a motherfucker, protecting himself. Right? You know what I mean? So you done switched the whole story. Right? If we can just find a way to get back to that. And like I said, there's a white dude that wrote the book. I'm gonna have to show you the book. It's around here somewhere. But a white dude that wrote the book, but reading it, he at least was honest with what the fuck it was. You know, he wasn't trying to hide. No, these motherfuckers were brutal savages. You know, he using words like that. When you understand how they tie motherfuckers, doing motherfuckers the nastiest you can do, burning motherfuckers, putting their dicks in their mouth, hanging them, throwing them off the ship, you know, chopping them white babies out they want, doing every fucking thing you can ever think in the world. But when they tell a story in school and you get graded, do you really know this? And then that's it. Okay, whether you know the story, you have a test on it. Now you're not getting it right. Well, Columbus was a murderer. He wasn't a,
He was a drunken drug addict murderer.
You gonna fail a test? So are you gonna fail a test to prove that? No, then you got an F. Now you being left back in grade because you done got F's in a couple of your classes that you just not agreeing with what they trying to teach you. You know what I'm saying? So now you can't learn. No, I'm being taught. Man, that's not the truth. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. So then you gotta. Okay, well, he was a hero. Yeah, you gotta mark that box to get an A on that. But that don't necessarily mean that you gotta believe that and go through life believing that. But if you was able to get taught our version of it or the victim's version, that'll help everybody get an understanding of really what happened.
Okay, Jack.
If I change one thing, everything my brother just said, and you know what I would add to that, I would teach it from the perspective of how our history formed the world, not just the United States. How our history formed the world. When you teach world history, plug us back in there in a major moment of history that you took us out of. So you can see exactly what really happened and who we were. Just like a lot of people don't know, well, everybody know now because it's a fad to know. We cultivated and civilized Europe, not white people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Put that back in the world history. You know what I'm saying? Put all that back in there. Yeah. Put it back in world history that the people that led the revolution to free Mexico was black generals who were black Mexicans. Put that back in the history book.
John Horse.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put all that back in there so we can know what really happened. Because we got part of the story all the way down to the very state and continent that we live in. Just like I didn't know for a long time that, because I thought slavery just happened in America. Mm-hmm. But no, slavery happened all over the world. And that's why you got Cubans who look black, you got Dominicans who look black, and then how the Dominicans broke out, enslaved the Dominicans, said we tired of this, went over and started Haiti, fought off the French. Spaniards for the Haiti, telling the way it really happened in chronological order according to world history, and then we will see, like I've been saying this whole 2 hours, we are kings and queens, always have been. We were robbed of what was ours, but we are kings and queens. Tell them about Mansa Musa. Woo. You know what I'm saying? The richest man that ever lived in the history of the world.
To this day.
All the gold coming out, to this day, control all the gold coming out of Africa and everything. Tell them how the people in those other countries came over to colonize Africa because we had all the resources and how they changed the whole trajectory of the continent of Africa. You know what I mean? Put it all in together. Don't give us 1, 2, we're going to take out 4 and 5, then we're going to go 6, 7, 8, then we're going to take out 12, 13, and 14. Now put all that back in there just the way it happened. and put it all back in there, because a lot of things that happen with us and to us affected not just the United States, affected the whole world.
And to piggyback off what Jack said, 45%, if you watch this documentary called Enslaved, Samuel Jackson did it. It's awesome. I learned on that documentary, 45% of the people taken off the continent went to Brazil. Brazil has the largest African population on Earth off the continent. Just imagine, only 4% of us came here.
And I just throw this in, I'm going to let you finish. I can attest to that because I've been to Brazil. And I tell you, dude, you walk around seeing people, we look exactly the same. But it's so crazy because they all mixed up now, because they can argue me and you with hazel eyes, blue eyes, and straight blonde hair. It's just all mixed up. But Brazil and Cuba, South America period, has the largest concentration of slaves shipped over there than anywhere in the entire world.
Let's start calling them enslaved. Because they ain't slave, they people.
Enslaved. That's right, enslaved. My apologies.
With that being said, man, I'm going to add this and then I'm going to do my closeout. The way I would change it, I would say, because I've been hearing a lot of people say Black History is every day. So this is my methodology in regards to that. I say treat it like it's a birthday. Like, Tran birthday is in January. Your birthday was a couple months back. My birthday is in August. Literally, 3-4 weeks after our birthday, we start saying, I'm going to kill it next year. So, we need to start talking about Black History Month in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, and then February, it's a birthday party. It's a birthday celebration of the culture. Instead of just talking about it 1 month, do it like our birthday. We talk about it. You talk, man, next year on my birthday, like for example, Jack, you went on that the Invicta cruise. You got off that boat, hit us all on the chat. We going next year. That's how we got to start doing Black History. Yeah, we celebrate the whole month of February, but then we gonna hit it off in March. Oh man, this is what I'm doing in March. And continue to learn every day, all day, because when you do that, and I challenge people to do this. Think of 3 things you can't live without, and I bet you Black people made it. None of us want to live without our remote controls. None of us want to live without our cell phones. And none of us want to live without the internet. We wouldn't even be having this show without the cell phone, internet, and a remote control. That's 3 things. We need to challenge our friends and family members to learn 3 things that Black people invented. And do it, because another book I want people to read is Black Fortunes. That's what pissed me off about that. You know, I ain't trying to hate on Madam C.J. Walker. Got mad love for the ancestor. She's one of the first, but they made the sister Annie Malone look like a damn fool on Netflix. They lied on that lady for real. Madam C.J. and her husband stole that lady formula, and that lady still went on to be the first millionaire. People say it's Madam C.J. Walker. It wasn't her. Now, Madam C.J. Walker was a better marketer, a better business person than Annie Malone. But Annie Malone opened up schools. She did everything they said Madam C.J. Walker did, and actually did in that movie, but they made her look like a clown and a hater, but she put her on. So when you read Black Fortunes, you find out. Like every week on Instagram, I post some Black History. Tomorrow I'll do C.D. Fuller. And this brother invented, he invented basically perm. He invented a bunch of stuff. He bought this cosmetic firm and put Black folks to work selling it. He actually put white folks to work. They never knew who he was. He threw a big celebration because the company bubbled. They found out he was Black and they boycotted and shut the whole shit down. But he still died a millionaire. So if we do stuff like that every month, like especially if y'all got small kids soon, my kids 23 and 27, soon they'll have kids, and I'll be pumping that information to my grandkids, and I think that's what we need to do. And then just have it like a big ass celebration in February. Another thing before I say, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Well, actually, next to the last thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say about the show. We need to do something this year for Juneteenth, because like I said on the previous show, the ancestors been speaking to us for 5 years, and it culminated last year. We know Juneteenth started in Galveston, Texas. Big George Floyd is from Galveston, Texas. Big George Floyd was he's from Galveston, Texas. He was killed on Memorial Day. Guess what else happened on Memorial Day 100 years ago this Memorial Day? That was the 100-year anniversary of Black Wall Street. That's our ancestors saying, wake up and realize things. Realize what you're dealing with and move forward. And to answer my man Tran's question, I am going to do this for the rest of the month. I'm going to talk to ancestors on here. You know, well, not ancestors, elders on here. If you have a family member 65 and older, I want to talk to them so they can tell their story. So Tran can sit his son, his daughter, we can sit our nieces, nephews, and children in front of this and hear a person 65, 70 years old talk about what it is to be black. I'm going to be interviewing entrepreneurs. I got a brother who got this. He's selling a service so you can create your own internet space. And he using radio airways. His name is Romeo, ironically, Tran. And so I'm just going to turn it to a platform. I'm going to do some reshifting of this, the Build and Destroy, and start just highlighting brothers, sisters with I don't give a damn if you selling plates out your house. Come on here, and I'm gonna see if I can get foots with his sauce. I got people who making T-shirts. My man Chris got style guys. My girl Kiana got a Kirby style for voluptuous women. I'm not gonna call you the other word. So if you know somebody who's trying to get some promotion, tell them to reach out to me. Tree. Oh man, Tree, oh man, get this. Shout out to my sister Tree, man. Do you know since I started this, Tree shoot me $25 every month? Tree.
That's good.
Just because she's like, man, I want you to win. So my Tree on here, I'm having everybody on here, man. That's real. That's on the real. So
that's really what I'm really trying to be on super hard, man. Like, you know, I want everybody who's doing anything, I'm going to support them. I don't care what they're doing. I done bought so many bottles with Foots. And what's his name? Allen Glover, little brother, he got his sauce out now.
Okay, well,
you know what I'm saying?
We got to get over Allen.
I drive Big Don's collection. I buy Tree. I buy Londe. Anybody that's doing anything, his authors, what's his name? Eric, Biggie, nephew, Damien. He locked up. He in the penitentiary. He got two books out right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just was reading some of it today, Under the Light, Shining Lights. I'm gonna have to look at it again. But either way, I'm just saying that's what I've been doing, and something good. Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
Yeah, Black Distillery. He talk Jack Daniels. They recipe how to distill they whiskey. Oh man, I'm addicted to that shit right now. That's all, because I spend so much money on Hennessy or whatever else. Like it ain't nothing. It feel better to spend my money with black folks, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It feel better. And
So,
that's what I'm focused on, especially for the end of this month. But I want to get into habit of everything that I get. That's what I'm getting it from.
Exactly. And now, Big Ant just asked me, was it Romeo from the hood? No, not Romeo Hines. That's a random cat that I bumped into. We start chopping it up. He gonna be on soon. He's listening now. So yeah, man. Jack has a brand of cigars. You know, cigar business. That's coming. Him and our homeboy Big Country. They working on it. He also gonna have a podcast on my network. So we trying to get it done, man. Like I always say at the end of every show, tell a friend to tune in. And we gonna make this our get down. You know, this gonna be our get down. Abdul coming on, Trey. So he gonna tell his life story. I don't give a damn what your story is. I want people to hear your story from here to down here, from sugar to shit, and wherever else you end up at. Ain't no judgment. It's gonna be brothers helping brothers. With that being said, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Build for This Network. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Build and Destroy. I got my man Microwave. They tried to hit my man Microwave. He listening too. They tried to hit him with a couple dozen life sentences. So listen to that. We're going to put you in jail forever and forget about you. He beat it though. So we're going to do this we gonna get it popping, man. Tomorrow, thank y'all for tuning in. Later on tonight, we got my man Big Illinois. He coming on with the hip hop show. Tomorrow morning, you got Rated Kev. I got my man Big Mo from Tiger Park. He gonna be on tomorrow afternoon. I'm supposed to be on that. Later on that evening, D Gray gonna be on. My man #1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern gonna be on Monday morning. Microwave Tuesday. Knox Tuesday afternoon. Me, Big Illinois, and Joe Tuesday evening. Girly Girl and New Max Radio and Mandela Tuesday night. Along in the middle of that, we got Emma Rare Beauty. She playing music. Big Illinois, he keep pump faking on the backyard, so I ain't even gonna promote that no more. Then Thursday, you got Knox, D-Grade, D-Grade Wednesday, Knox Thursday, Knox and Big Illinois Friday, and 66 hours from right now, I'll be back on. I'm gonna try to have an all-woman panel. We're gonna talk about being a black woman. And then I'm gonna try to do a 2 and 2 or 3 and 3. I can have 10 people on here. If y'all wanna come back and talk in 2 weeks and talk with some women about being black, y'all welcome. I can have up to 10 people on the line. We need to talk about these things. We need to enhance our community. And just like Combat Jack used to say, dream those dreams, a man up, a woman up, and live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in Technicolor surround sound. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Tran. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Rello. Thank everybody who listening in the chat room. Thank everybody who listening in the background. Salute. Please go to Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. Subscribe. Please go to the YouTube to End of the Bench and subscribe. Hit the like button. Comment. Like. Dislike or whatever. We need to work this algorithm to get your boy in everybody's face. And as I always say, 2 fingers, 1 word. This your man HRap. I'm out.
All right.
Man, I appreciate you, brothers.
For this network, for the strong, not the weak.